This is Kevin Sorbo. He's like a right-wing nutcase. Oh my God, he's crazy. I requested a cameo. I paid for a cameo from this guy forever ago. I covered this a long time ago, but it's so funny. This is addressed to Owen, and Owen is just so upset at atheists on Twitter. They're not listening to him. Listen to this.
Owen, buddy, how you doing? It's Kevin Sorbo, fresh off the golf course. I just got back home and got this cameo, and it says it's from Anonymous. Anyway, I'm here to chat to you, Owen. I understand you're dealing with the radical left on the Twitter. You know what? I post stuff. I mean, you see my stuff. You go
This is so funny.
to K-Sorbs, they just go after me. These guys, you got to know, these guys are very unhappy people.
I'm pretty happy, actually.
Seriously, I'm not just
Contrary to popular belief, I'm reasonably happy.
seriously, I'm not just saying. These people do not like who they are.
Actually, I kind of do.
I imagine most of them do not have a job. I imagine most
I do have a job, actually. That's false. My job is to listen to poor fools spout off nonsense.
I imagine most of them probably still live at home with their mom in the basement. I imagine most of them probably grew up in a broken family.
Not living in my mom's basement. And when you say broken family, you mean like parents are separated? No, my parents were together.
And maybe they're working for, George Soros and collecting unemployment from your tax dollars and mine.
You can't collect unemployment unless it's only under very specific circumstances. I don't remember what they are. You have to apply for it. You have to have been laid off, I think. And the funds come from the company that you worked for. They pay. It's an insurance. The company pays into unemployment insurance. It's not coming from the government. And you can only be on it for like 9 months or something. I don't remember. But this George Soros thing here, this is a deep cut. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole right now, but in 1902 there's a book that was printed in a newspaper called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, and it claimed to be this insane meeting with the Jewish elders where they're planning world domination and stuff. It's completely fake. It was used to demonize Jews all the way back in the 20th century. At the time, they claimed they found it on a dead Jewish soldier. Said it was in his pocket. The plan for world domination. Fascinatingly, during the George Floyd protests, a contract appeared between George Soros and a rioter, quote unquote, where George Soros agreed to pay the rioter $30,000 to riot, quote unquote. It's obviously completely fictitious. Somebody printed it out and then wrote stuff down to make it look real. But they're recycling the same shit. It's just the same stuff over and over and over again. It's like if we don't learn history, we're doomed to repeat it. These people are learning it to repeat it. Well, I can't find the contract now, but I have it in my clips collection somewhere. owenmorgan.com/clips if you want to peruse the collection. Anyway, that's why Kevin Sorbo said what he said there. Probably being paid by George Soros. George Soros is Jewish, by the way.
George Soros and collecting unemployment from your tax dollars and mine. And it's sad. It really is sad. Their anger towards me does nothing. I could care less. Don't let them get to you. But honest to God, you want to go after them just for sport and have fun, go for it. Because the stuff they say is just so idiotic. These are uneducated people. They're ignorant people.
Uneducated and ignorant. Okay. That hurts. That cuts me deep.
They have no idea what they have here. And honest to God, if they want the utopia, then please, by all means, I honestly think our government, not only we need to get rid of all the illegal aliens here, they
Like, I don't like to keep pulling it back to this, but I wrote about World War II recently. Was Hitler an atheist? Amazon Audible, check it out. But this is like exactly word for word what was said by the Nazi movement. We need to get rid of all of the illegal aliens. They were Jews at the time. They were viewed as the immigrants, the aliens. They weren't. Most of them have been there for like hundreds of years, but they weren't Aryan, It's just wild how history is repeating so precisely. I can't imagine that it would be so exact unless that was intentional.
should go to North Korea. They should go to Venezuela. They should go
Why would I go to these places?
to Russia. They should go to Cuba. Nobody takes boats from Key West to Cuba. So how do these people possibly think?
Bro, I'm not a socialist or a communist. He thinks anybody to the left of hunting the homeless for sport is a communist.
People possibly think communism and socialism is good.
I wonder if you could tell me what the difference between the two is.
Those things killed 80, gosh, well over 100 million people, maybe 120 million
No.
in the last century. It was 80 million alone just from Stalin and Hitler, for crying out loud.
Okay, so what was the other 20 million? What's he talking about? I mean, a lot of people did die from Stalin. Like, terrible, awful stuff. Stalin was a terrible person. Oh my God, it was ugly. He's right that millions died. But what does that have to do with anything at all?
Just keep fighting the good fight, man. I got a number of movies.
Can do, buckaroo. I will stay on top of it.
I got a number of movies out there. One just came out in theaters. It's done now. It's called Left Behind, leftbehindmovie.com. I directed that one as well. And Miracle in East Texas comes out later. And
boy, I bet they're gems.
I love that you love God's Not Dead. You need to check out What If, Abel's Field, Let There Be Light, another one I directed. And my documentaries, some good documentaries are Before the Wrath. And
boy, he's plugging his stuff in this cameo. Didn't know what to say at the end. We got a 2-minute cameo, and he just ran out of stuff to say, so he's just plugging his garbage.
And Against the Tide, okay? Actually, go to sorbostudios.com and order them. You get signed.
Oh, my God.
An autograph. sorbostudios.com. Just check it out. But God's Not Dead was a blessing for me. I love doing it. What If, I think, is an even better movie. Same writers. And if you don't do it, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I asked specifically in the cameo that he does the disappointed meme, because he was Hercules in that TV show, and he randomly just yelled, "Disappointed!" So I asked that he would fit that in somewhere. Where is it? Do I have that clip? God, my clips are so out of order now. Since I did the transcripts, it's very frustrating. Well, I can't find it, but anyway. Oop.
Okay, I'm not going to yell it. But good luck with your YouTube channel. Hope you have great success with that.
I said I was starting a YouTube channel. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much.
And more to come, bud. All right, take care. Ciao.
Love it. Love everything about it. That was actually a good cameo, if I'm going to be honest. 3 minutes long almost. He did plug his shit for half of it, but it was honest, authentic, well thought out. He touched on, every subject that I put in the request, and it was long. It wasn't just a short thing. It was really good. Actually, thank you, Kevin, for wishing me luck with my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Alex Jones interviews Kevin Sorbo, and they touch on at least Diddy and Obama and stuff. So let's give this a listen. This is bound to be insane. I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon. Okay, let's continue.
We know what's going on in Disney. We know what's going on in Nickelodeon. All these young child actors now grown up had come up to say what's actually happening behind the stages there. And I knew it was going on.
Okay. Well, why didn't you tell anybody, Kevin? This is actually a problem. Kids being terribly mistreated on the movie sets and stuff and TV shows. But Kevin Sorbo isn't saying that this is a problem. He's saying specifically that the left is doing it, and the left is the problem. Democrats are doing this. Just insanity. The gays are out of the closet in Hollywood. It's the Christians and the conservatives. They're in the closet now. I told you. It's the gays doing it. Oh my God, bro.
I'm not. I'm out there. Every movie I've been doing the last 6-7 years, and I do 4 or 5 movies a year. I get an actor, a producer, a director, a camera guy, makeup, whatever, say, hey, thanks for being a voice for us. Go look at the 1960 inauguration speech of JFK.
Yeah, you see, Christians, they don't have a voice. Nobody is speaking for Christians. They're just a little tiny minority group in the U.S. that no one pays any attention to, and they're so mistreated.
And tell me if there's one Democrat, and probably not that many Republicans, that talk that way today. He would be a conservative today, very easily. We've lived in Florida now for 6 years. We absolutely loved out there. We're thinking about moving for a long, long time. It just got to a point that I couldn't take the taxes anymore. The traffic is sucking all the time.
Oh my God, dude. It's just culture war issue after nonsensical complaint. It's constant with this guy. And all of his problems are the left's fault, all of them.
And of course, the politics is insane. We all saw, and we still see what's going on, what Newsom is doing. Everything about Newsom, I mean, COVID was certainly an eye opener that he can go out to have $1,200 meals with his buddies in San Francisco and not wear masks.
Oh, this is just nonsense. This whole attack on him or whatever. I don't remember exactly what happened with that. Maybe he got some criticism for that. I don't know. But either way, Sorbo doesn't believe any of it anyway. Isn't Gavin Newsom doing like what you would want him to do, like not pay attention to COVID? In all seriousness, Gavin Newsom was paying attention to COVID, and he did a lot of really good things in California to protect the state from COVID. Newsom is actually awesome. I'm surprised to say that. I really like Gavin Newsom. I covered a debate with him between him and John MacArthur, televangelist, on gay marriage all the way back in like the early 2000s. Nobody supported gay marriage back then. Nobody. But Gavin Newsom did. That's pretty cool.
But everybody else has got to wear them. Look, Facebook took me down 3 years ago for posting the truth about COVID, the shots, the Facebook face masks, all that. And now, of course, all that stuff that I said, the conspiracy theories, and just like you were talking,
they were conspiracy theories
about, has all come that we were.
No, you were not correct about those conspiracies.
True. We were honest about what was happening out there. All these people.
Incorrect, good sir. And you know what? Even if you were correct about the things that you claimed all the way back then, you were still wrong because there's no evidence for what you were claiming. There's no reason to believe any of it. If there's no reason to believe it and you state it anyway, whether it turns out to be true or not is irrelevant. You were lying. You were incorrect.
Well, that were supporting Diddy. I don't know that every single one of these people were blind to the fact of what's going on. And the same thing with Epstein, and here we are again. It's just these stories just keep coming out all the time.
All other networks lie to you about.
Dude, these people are so desperate to tie Jeffrey Epstein to the left, and I don't know why. Epstein is a nonpartisan problem, and people like him. It's something that the right and the left deal with. I mean, Bill Clinton was close friends with Epstein, right? Donald Trump was close to Epstein. I think that you could be friends with Epstein, or at least like close to him, or a reasonable, know him at least, ride on his jet or whatever. I think you can do that without, taking part in the activities that he took part in. I think it's possible to have known Epstein without being guilty with all that. But if you're close to Epstein, you have to know what he was up to. I don't know how close Bill Clinton was with Epstein. Maybe he was close. But Donald Trump is like his best friend. They're in a ton of pictures together.
About what's happening now. InfoWars tells you.
This is the InfoWars intro. Let's jump forward. Oop.
But Sorbo, he of course has been a top TV actor, movie star, you name it. And since then had all these huge hit Christian films, you name it. He's got SorboStudios.com. Been a fan of him since I was a teenager, watching him on Hercules. And he's had a lot of courage, and he's out there constantly. You see him all the time on mainstream media, the alternative media that's now bigger than the old mainstream media, standing up for life, standing up for the unborn, standing up for God. And I just really am glad to be able to get him on in his busy schedule, because he came out a few days ago, and it's up on Infowars.com, this article, Hercules actor. I left Hollywood because they are pedos. Now, I was already wanting to get him on, and I've got some
Oh, God, please don't demonetize me.
of the other actors coming on soon from the incredible movie, especially if you were alive back then. The nostalgia is amazing. It's so accurate as well. Reagan, that, of course, has got Dennis Quaid and so many other people in it, including Kevin Sorbo, who plays his pastor and who helped put Reagan on his life path, according to Reagan. So,
okay, this is interesting. I didn't hear about this movie.
an amazing film. I saw that my parents brought tears to their eyes.
You know what I've come to find? When a movie is released and lauded by the right, like when it's positively viewed by the right and it's like a big thing that everybody thinks you should see or whatever, inevitably it's full of lies every time. The Bonhoeffer movie was just full of lies. Sound of Freedom with Jim Caviezel, that QAnoner who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, full of lies. None of that was true. None of it. Inevitably, this stuff turns out to be complete nonsense. So I don't know what Kevin Sorbo like played in or what this movie was or whatever, but I'm just about guaranteed it was BS.
Because we all lived through that and experienced it. Yeah, I guess for younger people, they see it and it doesn't quite click as well. But if you want to know what it was like with Time Capsule and really what's affecting how we live today, you see the movie Reagan the movie. But Kevin Sorbo joins us to talk about the epic times we're in and to look at pedo Diddy and now hundreds of, quote, celebrities and leaders reportedly with underage girls and boys connected into the whole Epstein group. Now,
I don't think Diddy was connected to the Epstein group, was he? That's what made it so disturbing for me, was that there was another group that was like perpetrating this horrific, disgusting stuff, unconnected from Epstein, right? Am I wrong?
Now the feds are coming in, I believe, to take control of the case and make it criminal, to limit it, show that the full nature of it being a blackmail operation doesn't come out. But Kevin Sorbo, thank you so much for coming on with us at such a critical time.
My pleasure. It's good to see you again. You know, my Twitter account, my X account is sarcastic truth, is what it is. And with all this information on Diddy out there right now, I posted that pretty much as a joke, but we all now see it surfacing in Hollywood. We've seen it for years. We know what's going on in Disney. We know.
I'm not sure. Oh, so no, I'm not sure what he's talking about. Like what the joke is. Like this is another example of what I'm talking about here. P. Diddy standing next to Barack Obama while Obama was the president. Yeah, of course. Obama met all kinds of people. Are they like drawing the same comparisons to Donald Trump? I mean, I just have to point that out again. They're not. But just because he showed up at the White House and was like photographed with Obama doesn't mean anything.
What was going on Nickelodeon? All these young child actors now grown up have come up to say what's actually happening behind the stages there. And
oh, here we go. This is what Kevin Sorbo posted, apparently. I didn't get blacklisted from Hollywood. I left because they're all people that take advantage of kids. Okay. I mean, he's talked about this before. He isn't involved in any big Hollywood movies anymore because he's absolutely insane. He's out of his head on right-wing Republican extremism.
And I knew it was going on. I don't have proof of it. I mean, I just know that everybody was talking about it, and they still talk about it now. But with this Diddy thing and what happened to Nickelodeon child actors, it's pretty basic of what's happening out there right now. And
well, here's the problem. He's kind of pretending that like this is an organized, like I don't know, a problem that has like a bureaucracy, like an organization. There's an organization out there that's taking advantage of kids in Hollywood or something. Like they all work together to orchestrate this big thing or whatever. That's not what's happening. As far as I can tell, there's no real organizational structure to it. People are just taken advantage of, and that needs to be stopped. Unfortunately, there are people that have like a lot of access, unfettered access to a lot of children. There's a famous gymnast forever ago that took advantage of like a bunch of kids. I don't remember how many, but he's spending the rest of his life in jail now as a result, as he should. I mean, that wasn't like an organized effort. That was just one guy being a complete scumbag and using his position to take advantage of people.
What Disney's doing, what Target was doing it, the other brands been doing it.
Oh, yeah. So Target offering LGBT clothing, like that says like have pride or whatever, just gay pride. That is basically the same as P. Diddy and what he did. Really? Are you kidding me? Target's basically Jeffrey Epstein. Please.
Yeah.
Like this devalues the words that he's using. This devalues the importance of this problem, this actual real problem where kids are being taken advantage of by people in positions of authority. And just for the record, like, where was he when they were talking about like pastors taking advantage of kids? Did we hear a peep from this dude when all that was going down? I don't remember any of that.
I look at it this way. Frankly, if you throw a rock at a pack of dogs, the one that gets hit is going to yelp, right? So this is kind of what's happening.
Like, what? What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means.
In the world right now, and all these people that were supporting Diddy, I don't know that
Who the hell is supporting Diddy right now? I literally have not heard a single peep from anybody supporting this dude. Not one. Does anybody else know of anyone supporting Diddy? He's going to claim that the left is supporting Diddy. I'm sure of it. Absolutely positive.
Every single one of these people were blind to the fact of what's going on. And the same thing with Epstein. and here we are again. It's just these stories just keep coming out all the time.
Well, that's right. Maybe the crew can pull it up. We had ABC, NBC reporters saying, "Oh, we all knew, but the story was killed." In outtakes, their own.
Like, I don't believe a word out of Alex Jones' mouth, not one. I need corroborating evidence to believe anything he says. So just be very skeptical.
Crew release, and then we have John McCain's wife when all the Epstein stuff was breaking a few years ago. I talked about it 15, 16 years ago, but when it was breaking 4 or 5 years ago, she said, "Oh, we all knew." Well, why didn't they do anything?
Well, I mean, Kevin Sorbo said he knew. Why didn't he do anything?
Really makes them complicit.
Yeah. Well, no question. I mean, it's just, look, the people that are upset at me for posting that and go crazy at me, maybe they have a lot more to worry about before anything else. So then again,
Drake Bell? Wait, I don't think this is right. I remember Drake and Josh. I remember that TV show. And I thought this one was Drake. I thought it was Josh that did something questionable, wasn't it? Josh Peck? Is that his name? Yeah, that's his name, Josh Peck. I think it was claims of grooming. Apparently he talked about Quiet on Set, which was about that Nickelodeon dude, that creepy guy. Apparently there is something about Drake. What's his name? Drake Bell. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah.
Why? Who's not talking about this? Many people are, but maybe the silent ones are the ones we need to look at. Because the rumors of, I'm not going to name names. I've heard so many big A-list names have been involved in this.
Wait, name names. Why aren't you naming names? Isn't he complaining about people that don't name names? Give us the names, bro.
Who's not talking about this? Many people are, but maybe the silent ones are the ones we need to look at. Because the rumors of, I'm not going to name names. I've heard so many big A-list names have been involved in this occult thing, this satanic worshiping, this blood drinking of, I don't have any proof.
Adrenochrome.
Oh my God, dude. QAnon nonsense all the way down with these people. This isn't happening. This was never happening. Satanists are not drinking the blood of innocents or whatever the hell. What is going through your head? How did these people get to the point that they believe this nonsense? Like, seriously. Oops. These claims are straight out of literal right-wing textbooks, like things that right-wing terrorist groups use to indoctrinate people. All the things that they're claiming right now, it's all straight out of those, like the Turner Diaries.
For a long, long time about this. Actually, somebody came out recently. Who was the actress came out recently? Say they drinks the blood of her husband or something. It was pretty bizarre.
Fox.
Yes, the one from all the Transformer movies.
I'm unfamiliar. I don't know what they're talking about.
Angelina Jolie talked about similar things. Her dad's a great guy. I haven't seen the Reagan movie, but I'm not trying to go after her.
Oh my God, yeah, Angelina Jolie. Her dad is John Voight. Is that his name? John Voight? Real famous right-wing nutcase. Has been for like a long, long time. He's an actor too. Nowhere near Angelina Jolie levels of fame, but yeah, he works for like the NRA all the time to try to further their goals, and yeah, completely out of their heads, both of them. Well, I mean, John Voight. I'm not sure about Angelina Jolie's positions on things.
But I know they're definitely polar opposites when it comes to. So I got invited to be in a few movies, but mainly by the Austin, Hollywood folks that didn't like Hollywood, like Richard Linklater. But I did, get offers and voiceovers in some movies, so I did spend some time in LA, not a lot.
Alex Jones's voice would be pretty good in a movie. I can see that.
Quit going out there 15 years ago just because it was so crazy. And people would talk about that and talk about, yeah, we can't go to this party. There'll probably be some underage girls there. And I was like, are you serious? And then I'd be at just regular parties. And they'd open up suitcases or briefcases just full of every drug you'd want.
Okay. Don't trust anything out of Alex Jones's mouth. It would truly, honestly, it would surprise me if famous celebrities didn't have a gigantic suitcase full of drugs. But everything out of Alex Jones's mouth practically is a lie. And he's facing consequences for those lies now with the Sandy Hook families.
And I'm like, I don't take drugs. And then all of a sudden I'd be at like mainline party and 15 hookers would show up and I would leave. I mean,
Why would they need hookers? Don't they have like anybody that they want? I mean, they're from Hollywood. They're famous. They just bring girls in? Do they have to be hookers? Okay.
You were there without getting into any names. You're saying you never actually saw the pedophile stuff, so you're blessed, but you heard about it. What made you leave Hollywood specifically? Because if I barely brushed up against it and it was ridiculous, I mean, what type of stuff did you see or hear about in Hollywood?
Well, I live 45 miles north of LA. I was between LA and Santa Barbara. I was never much of a Hollywood guy. I love the industry. I love making movies. I love being part of the creative process. But I was never part of it in terms of going to the parties and seeing stuff. I mean, certainly there were parties I went to and there'd be drugs around, things like that. But I never did that stuff. Look,
Sure, totally. I believe you.
I left. My wife and I took the family. We escaped California 6 years ago. We left the worst governor in the country to the best governor. We've lived in Florida now for
Oh, he's in Texas, right?
6 years. We absolutely loved out there. We were thinking about moving for a long, long time. It just got to a point that I couldn't take the taxes anymore. The traffic is sucking all the time. And of course, the politics is insane. We all saw, and we still see what going on, what Newsom is doing. Everything about Newsom, I mean, COVID was certainly an eye-opener that he can go out to have $1,200 meals with his buddies.
Just nonsense. This is all fictitious outrage. God, I don't know how else to say it. It's outrage porn. This is just fictitious outrage porn.
In San Francisco not wear masks, but everybody else has got to wear them. Look, Facebook took me down 3 years ago for posting the truth about COVID, the shots, the Facebook face masks, all that. And now, of course, all that stuff that I said, the conspiracy theories, and just like you were talking about, has all come that we were true. We were honest about what was happening
No.
out there. I'm the first cancel culture victim is what really happened.
Oh, please. The first cancel culture victim.
10 years ago, my manager and agent kicked me out. We can't work with you anymore because
Wait, I thought you said that you left. What happened to that? Didn't you literally just say that you left Hollywood? Not the other way around?
Because all your posts being a conservative, being a Christian, which apparently is like being a double leper in Hollywood, got me booted out. But I still love the industry. My wife and I formed Sorbo Studios. Please go to sorbostudios.com. We do movies that have hope and love and faith and redemption and laughter, things that Hollywood used to do. We don't do just straight Christian movies. We also do movies that just have good messages in them, period. And Hollywood doesn't want to do those anymore. Disney took a $1.4 billion loss last year. And
I don't know about that, but trust me, Disney's doing okay.
with all this woke agenda they got going out there, it's just crazy right now. So I'm just doing movies that have a positive.
There was a point, I think maybe last year or the year before, where every single movie in theaters were all Disney movies. Star Wars, owned by Disney. The Avengers, owned by Disney. Frozen and all those kids things. Wicked, I believe, all owned by Disney. Maybe not Wicked, I'm not sure. But Disney is like gigantic. They're doing okay. They could be as woke, quote unquote, as they want, and it wouldn't matter.
Positive message. I'm gonna keep on doing them. I got 4 movies in post production. I got 3 in documentaries in post. One of the movies that I did will be coming out this November. It's a Christmas movie called God Is Here. So yes, it's a faith-based movie, but I've got a couple other ones coming out. I got a vampire movie coming out. I got a zombie movie coming out, a comedy. They're both comedies. So
interesting. That doesn't sound very Christian to me.
I like to poke fun at everything that's going on within the Hollywood walls because, as you know, they're hypocrites. They just are. They say they want this and say they want that. Socialism is good.
Who is saying socialism is good in Hollywood? What are you talking about?
Live capitalist lifestyles. Let's face it. That's what Hollywood wants to make money. So let's stop just pretending that they believe in socialism and communism. And
thank you. Yes. No, they don't. They never claimed that.
How many elections we have to listen to these A-listers go, if a Trump or Bush get elected, I'm moving to Canada. None of them ever moved. That's just all talk.
Well, expanding.
I don't think it's all talk. Billy Joel Armstrong, singer from Green Day, he moved. Yeah, he left. Oh my God, the cat is losing his mind right now. Some people do. They leave the U.S. because of the conditions here. It's just atrocious and horrific and disgusting. So, although Trump supporters say they're going to leave a lot. And again, some of them have left. There was a family, I believe, of Trump supporters who moved to Russia and lived to regret it. Because I think like one of them was drafted or something. I don't remember what happened, but it wasn't too long ago. Easy story to find.
On that, because you're more of an expert than I am, but I see the numbers. I would say Hollywood's basically collapsed. And then I look at faith-based films being one of the only things that's successful now. And
what are you talking about right now? You think that faith-based films are the only things that are successful right now? Really? Okay.
and are huge, bigger than some of the biggest films ever made, and films exposing human trafficking. The biggest film this year so far, or was that last year, The Sound of Freedom.
That was not the biggest film. Oh my God, it was big. Unfortunately, it was all a lie, all the way down. But yeah,
does Hollywood realize that they're destroying themselves as people turn against their woke agenda?
I don't think they even care. Look, I did a movie called Let There Be Light. My wife wrote it along with Dan Gordon. Dan Gordon's an Oscar-nominated writer. He wrote The Hurricane for Denzel Washington, The White Earp, Kevin Costner. We opened. Here's a $3 million movie that actually Sean Hannity funded it.
Oh, Sean Hannity. I didn't know he was funding movies.
$3 million movie that opened number 2 per screen average against Thor Ragnarok, a $300 million movie. I get a call from Netflix after opening weekend, and they say, "Hey, we know you have a foot in this family faith world. We want to open an inspirational division here at Netflix."
Really? Oh, don't tell me that.
I had 4 meetings with them over the next couple months. This is back in 2018. And with each meeting, I could tell this was just lip service. That
Why would it be lip service? I don't understand. I'm super disappointed to hear that. Please don't tell me that Netflix contacted Sorbo because he's a faith leader or some other shit. No, not Netflix.
their ideology is so screwed up. And so there's 80 million homes that want the kind of movies that I'm doing and what the Irwin brothers are doing, what the Kendrick brothers are doing. There's 80 million homes out there, yet they just avoid it for whatever reasons. And I knew half the people in those rooms that I was meeting. I was met like a dozen people from Netflix. I could tell half of them agreed with me, but they're afraid. You know, the gays are out of the closet in Hollywood. It's the Christians and the conservatives. They're in the closet now.
Please. As if Christians can't be in movies now or because they're persecuted or something. Give it a rest. My God.
I'm not. I'm out there. Every movie I've been doing the last 6, 7 years, and I do 4 or 5 movies a year. I get an actor, a producer, a director, a camera guy, makeup, whatever, say, hey, thanks for being a voice for us. And I go, well, be a voice for yourself. And I go, well, we don't want to get blacklisted like you. Yeah.
Bullshit.
I got blacklisted, and I'm not doing big.
Look, if you're an obnoxious fool, constantly just won't shut up about this stupid shit and complaining about, you know, trans people in sports and bathrooms and shit, no one's going to want to be around you. That's not because you're like, there's some conspiracy or something. You're just annoying. You're just an annoying person who's completely full of shit 24/7.
Budget movies anymore. I mean, Reagan's a bigger one, but
you're building, but I mean, you're building the new system, and that's what we should do as Christians and conservatives and populists and just capitalists, is build our system. You build it, we're coming. And so that's very exciting and revolutionary because you're one of the first to do this going back decades ago. But Reagan, I was blown away by how amazingly shot.
Well, I guess he's shouting out to his movie Reagan. I did not hear. When did this come out? Released August 30th, 2024. I didn't hear a word about this movie. That is crazy. Filming began September 9th, 2020. Included locations such as Guthrie, Oklahoma. Reagan was theatrically released in the U.S. on August 30th. Okay. Let's see how it did on Rotten Tomatoes. Reagan movie Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. Oh my God. 18%. 18%. Oh, wow. That is bad. That is real bad. I've never seen a movie hit 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's nuts. Rigged. Yeah, somebody says rigged. Hold on. Let's see. What's Bonhoeffer at now? 64%. And a general audience is 93%. Damn. It's still positive, I guess. It's in the positive. That's a shame because it's just complete bullshit all the way down. There's nothing good about that movie. Again, I did a whole breakdown on it a while back if you want to see it. It's on my main channel.
And the actors and the history, because I'm quite a history buff. This is a masterpiece. And even as you know, Facebook.
Dude says he's a history buff. Okay. He's not even a present buff. Okay. This dude doesn't know like modern day current reality. He's not a history buff.
Blocked them from running ads on there. So that's how bad cancel culture's gotten, where they're blocking ads for such a wholesome movie.
Oh my God. Such a wholesome movie. Yeah, I don't know that any of this is true. Again, Alex Jones has a tendency to lie for a living. Although I've noticed that a lot of the stuff that Alex Jones says is a partial truth. Like there's some grain of truth to it a lot of the time. Wow, that is messed up. I almost fell.
Yeah, it's so childish. They're like little 7th grade mean girls, you know, where they're just jealousies, egos, ridiculousness.
Kevin Sorbo saying this.
They're going to keep doing it. Look, Sean McNamara did a great job with this, and he's a liberal director. I did a movie with him and Dennis Quaid about 10 years ago called Soul Surfer. It's the life of Bethany Hamilton. The girl lost her arm to a tiger shark attack. And, there are good liberals out there. So, he gets the story and how important it is. Unfortunately for me in this movie, they took out most of my stuff because the movie was so long covering his life. I play his pastor when he was a teenager, and they really needed to it was over 3.5 hours long. They had to cut it down, so they lost all the early Reagan years. So I'm hoping that they at least put it in when they put it out in streaming or DVD or whatever. So put those scenes.
Oh, I can't wait. It was long, but every bit of it was amazing. And I was thinking like they could have made a 5-hour movie because it's such and I've actually researched Reagan. The media demonized him so much they thought he was just just this actor. No, he was.
Well, he was a piece of shit, and he was an idiot. Reagan fundamentally changed the dynamic between corporations and people, and citizens. Reagan's policies hollowed out the United States to turn it into a husk of what it once was, because he just did whatever corporations asked of him. Richard Nixon, TV had existed for a long time leading up to Nixon. Well, not that long, but for a while. And who was it that ran one of the people, whoever ran Fox News, either Sheldon Adelson or Roger Ailes. It's one of those two people. I don't remember which. Nixon was running for office and was about to do a TV debate, I think. And he was frustrated by it. And he was like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. And Roger Ailes or Sheldon Adelson said, no, sir, this is not stupid. This is where it's going. This is useful to you. You should use this. And from that moment on, the Republican Party they heavily engaged in propaganda. It was just propaganda war was on from that point forward. So let's see. Nixon won. I'm trying to think who it was. Nixon and then Jimmy Carter, right? And who else? It was Nixon, Jimmy Carter, and then Reagan. Is that what it was? I think so. Anyway, yeah, I think that Reagan was the first one after Nixon to really take advantage or be in a position where it was possible for him to take advantage of the propaganda opportunities with television. And from that moment on, corporations just went nuts with it, started funding commercials and debates and everything else for the people that they liked the most. Ford, yeah, but did Ford run? Yeah, I forgot about Ford. Nixon, then he resigned, and Gerald Ford came in, and then it was, I believe, Carter, and then Reagan, and then George H.W. Bush, then Clinton, then George W. Bush, and then Obama and Trump.
Pure Americana.
Oh, no question. Well, look, he was a Democrat, but just like
I hate this. They always mix it up. So was he on the left or the right? Sidestep it completely. He knows full well Reagan was a conservative. Why are you pretending that he was on the left by saying he was a Democrat or whatever? I hate this. It's nonsense. The political parties switched all the way back in, it was really in the 60s, I think. Nixon ran, he was appealing to the Dixiecrats, the Southern racists. It's called the Southern Strategy. And that's when the switch happened.
John Voight, who's in the movie, just like Dennis Miller, all those guys, I know, and they said, look, the party left me. I didn't leave the party because everything's moving further and further left. I tell my liberal friends all the time, and the liberals out there right now, I say, look, go look at the 1960 inauguration speech of JFK and tell me if there's one Democrat and probably not that many Republicans that talk that way today. He would be a conservative today very easily.
Well, I don't know what it said, but I can think of a few things that the left and the right basically, that wasn't even discussed. And that is Black people's rights. Black people should have had the right to be a part of every community, no questions. That just period. People should be allowed to live their lives and integrate and be part of the same schools and the same churches and everything else without worrying about being attacked because they're Black or something. That was not popular at the time. It's extremely controversial. Oh, Lyndon B. Johnson was another. Yeah, Kennedy, but he wasn't before Nixon. I'm sorry, but he wasn't after Nixon. It was Kennedy, then LBJ, and then Nixon, I believe. I'm kind of tempted to look this up now, see what it says out of curiosity. Reagan also went senile on TV, on live TV. I remember hearing about that. That was really sad. And it makes you wonder, like, who was running things? Like, who... God, that's scary. Dude had access to the button, the nuclear button. And at any moment, he could have hit it. That is really scary stuff. John F. Kennedy inauguration speech. Inaugural address. JFK Library, 1961. All right, he's just like an excerpt. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as a change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God that the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. Okay? It was still pretty normal. I'm wondering if that's the part that he thought was unacceptable today. I mean, Biden says God bless the troops every time he steps off stage. The world is very different now, for a man holds in his in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. Okay, he's definitely sounding like a Democrat right now. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. Okay, interesting. I think that the point behind that, though, the point behind saying that the rights came from God in the Declaration of Independence was to point out that the rights did not come from man. That was the important part. Previously, the state granted rights, like in other constitutions and things. And the founding fathers wanted to flip it so that rights weren't granted by government. They were creating a list of things that government is not allowed to do, instead of writing a list of things that people are allowed to do. They were kind of flipping it around. And the right knows this. They know that that's what it was about. Let me prove it. This is the Heritage Foundation, the creators of Project 2025. This is a Project 2025 training video, a leaked training video.
Ultimately, they chose to ground their claims upon nature, a more philosophically and more fundamental ground that was a defense of rights behind Magna Carta, behind and beyond the rights of Englishmen to their rights as humans. And so they turned to nature as the ground for the claim of rights, the ground upon which they would make their claims of independence, the grounds upon which they would assert their rights as an independent nation. And it was this turn to nature that is classically represented in the Declaration of Independence, but seen throughout many of the documents developing from the 1760s to 1776. It's classically stated within the Declaration of Independence by reference to the laws of nature and nature's God, which is itself an incorporation of aspects of a much deeper and longer natural law tradition, going back to the Greeks and Romans, but also through English thinking, especially through thinkers like John Locke.
The point is that the creators of Project 2025 know full well that what they say here is bullshit. That they know full well that Kevin Sorbo, what he's saying here is nonsense. The founding fathers did not believe that the country should be based on God. They explicitly did not believe that. Anyway, it was just a protection of people's rights because they're not being granted by government. They're granted by something outside of government. That's the point. And that sounds like what JFK was saying. It sounds like he was saying our God-given rights, like, you know, the government has no right to take them because they're not granted by government. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments.